Good to be with you once again, brothers and sisters. All praises to the Most High. I'm your host, the Apostle Reuben of IUPR Bible Radio, podcasting out of Little Rock, Arkansas, to the true saints of the Most High God. Now we're at Deuteronomy 29 and 10. I think I want to go up to verse 9. Now, I'm going to read first, and then I'm going to make my comment after I finish reading. So I'm going to start. Deuteronomy 29 and 9. Keep therefore the words of this covenant, and do them, that ye may prosper in all that ye do. Ye stand this day, all of you, before the Lord your God. Your God now. Your captains of your tribes, your elders, and your officers, with all the men of Israel. Your little ones, your wives, and thy stranger that is in thy camp, from the hewer of thy wood unto the drawer of thy water. Everybody. The hewer of wood, the drawer of water. Now, I'm going to go back to a certain point, but I just want to keep on reading. I want you to see this. That thou shouldest enter into covenant with the Lord thy God, and unto his oath which the Lord thy God maketh with thee this day, that he may establish thee today for a people unto himself, and that he may be unto thee a God, as he hath said unto thee, and as he hath sworn unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. But look at this. I want y'all to see this now. Neither with you only do I make this covenant and this oath, but with him that standeth here with us this day before the Lord our God, and also with him that is not here with us this day. So here's where the Christians are coming to say that God made a covenant not only with Israel, but the Gentiles that were with them, the mixed multitude. Listen to what we're telling you. God made a covenant with the Gentiles as he made a covenant with Israel. Here's the proof. But here, this, I want to go back up. To verse 10 and then read down to verse 11. Ye stand this day, all of you, before the Lord your God, your captains of your tribes, your elders, and your officers, with all the men of Israel, your little ones, your wives, and thy stranger that is within thy camp, comma, from the hewer of thy wood unto the drawer of thy water. What does that mean? Hewer of wood, drawer of water. What does that mean? What is that? See, the Christians don't want to read. It's parts they want to skip over. We don't skip over no part. Ask a Christian, what is a hewer of the wood and a drawer of thy water? Let's go back and look first at Joshua 9. Let's look at Joshua 9. Just real quick, and I'm going to get to the point. I'm not going to read a lot. I just want you to see what a hewer of wood and a drawer of water was. Now, this is concerning, I think, who is this concerning? I wasn't sure if it was, I think it was the Hivites, Joshua 9 and 7. And the men of Israel said unto the Hivites, peradventure ye dwell among us, and how shall we make a league with you? So this is concerning the Hivites. Now, remember, God commanded them to kill all of those Hamites out of the land. But these Hamites don't want to die. So they were hoping to make a league with Israel. And I think it was down in verse, here it is. I think Here it is. I'm just reading verse 16. And it came to pass at the end of 3 days after they had made a league with them that they heard that they were their neighbors, and that they dwelt among them. So the Hivites dwelt among the Israelites. I'm going to read this again. And it came to pass at the end of 3 days after they had made a league with them that they heard that they were their neighbors. See, they were living with them when they make this league, and that they dwelt among them. Now I want to drop down to verse 21. I got to get myself together. I'm sorry. And the princes said unto them, let them live, but let them be hewers of wood and drawers of water unto all the congregation. And the princes had promised them. Joshua called for them, and he spake unto them, saying, wherefore have ye beguiled us, saying, we are very far from you when ye dwell among us? They were, it was, I'm not going to that point. That's another point if I'm going over. But watch this. Now therefore ye are cursed, and there shall none of you be freed from being bondmen and hewers of wood and drawers of water for the house of my God. Bondmen were hewers of wood and drawers of water. Servants. Israel, let's go back. Let's go back. See, they want to try to forget. They want to try to come back to the law. Well, let's get the law in detail. What I wanted you to see, that a bondman was the hewer of wood and the drawer of water. The bondman was the hewer of wood and drawer of water. Bondman. Right here. There you go. So a bondman was the hewer of wood and drawer of water. So when we go back, let's go back to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 29. Be careful, because you don't want to put them on the same level. Like God made a covenant with you and the other nations and y'all are on the same level. No. It says, verse 10, ye stand this day all of you before the Lord your God, your captains of your tribes, your elders, and your officers, with all the men of Israel, your little ones, your wives, and thy stranger that is in thy camp. Now this stranger, again, brothers and sisters, Christians, they need to stop acting like Israelites were not strangers from other tribes. Leviticus 25. We're going to show you Leviticus 25. They need to acknowledge this. We're going to read them all. Verse 50. Leviticus 25:35. I'm sorry. And if thy brother be waxen poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him, yea, though he be a stranger. Your own brother could be a stranger from another tribe, a stranger from another land, a stranger from another place. Your brother could be a stranger or a sojourner, not just anybody from another nation. Your brother. This is an Israelite that was born far. That's why when they came up with, we're going to come back here. They came up with this in the book of Exodus. This was funny to me. The book of Exodus chapter 12. This was funny to me when they came up with, and this is the kind of stuff they do when it's hard, brothers and sisters, how they do these things. I just don't know how. Watch this. That's Exodus 12:49. See, this is what they put together. We're going over the verses they put together because somebody left this in my comment, not knowing what it means. It says, "One law shall be to him that is homeborn." and unto the stranger that sojourneth among you. That stranger that sojourned among you can be your own brother. Leviticus 25:35. We're not just going to shift it one way. We're not going to do that, brothers and sisters. Now remember, it says one law shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the stranger that sojourneth among you. Homeborn. Let's go to the book of Leviticus 18:9. Then we're going to come back here. Leviticus 18:9. Here's the chapters and verses that Christians leave off. If they're going to pair things together, pair them together right, not just for an advantage. But watch this. This is a law of the nakedness. Pay attention to what we're reading. Thy nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father, or the daughter of thy mother, whether she be born at home, homeborn, or born abroad somewhere else. Born abroad means far off. Why? Why does that say they're born abroad? The Christians act like many of the Israelites were all just attached without being in other lands at this time. That's a lie. The law, you have to explain the law. The nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father, or the daughter of thy mother, whether she be born at home, which is homeborn, or born abroad somewhere else. And if she's born abroad, what would that make her? See, they don't understand how the Bible uses, with precepts, witness after witness after witness, to prove itself. It doesn't need somebody to tell them what it means. That's what these Christians are doing. Homeborn or born abroad, which means born afar, born somewhere else. Even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover. It does not matter if she's born at home or born, if you have a sister born abroad. That's all that means. That one law will be for that one that is born at home or born somewhere else. That's what it's talking about. Whether they was homeborn or born in another land. That doesn't mean, oh, well, it says here in Exodus chapter 12, verse 49, it says, let's go back to it. And see, this is why we know it's private interpretation. One law shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the stranger, the other, to the stranger that sojourneth among you. Do you see this, Christians? Unto the stranger, unto the stranger, unto the stranger. Now, once again, the book of Leviticus 25. Leviticus 25. Verse 35. And if thy brother be waxen poor, brother, your own people, and fallen in decay with thee, even thou shalt relieve him. Yea, though he be a stranger, your brother that's from a far land can be a stranger or a sojourner. Your brother could be a sojourner from a far land. Your brother. Your brother can also be a stranger. You Christians, stop running from this verse. Every time you see stranger, it's not going to always apply to another nation. Your stranger can be your brother. But we tell you this, that he may live with thee. So the stranger can be your brother. But what you, whoa. Let's drop down. Let's drop down. Watch this. And I want you to, I'm going to read this first. Leviticus 25:41. And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and unto the possession of his fathers, shall he return. So this is your own brother now, but pay attention. For they are my servants, God says, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen. So your own brethren will not be bondmen unto you. Your own brethren will not be bondmen unto you. Your own brethren. Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor. That's hardship. But shall fear thy God. Let me read that again. Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but shall fear thy God. Watch this. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall he buy bondmen and bondmaids. The heathen were the bondmen and bondmaids. The heathen. Joshua 9. Joshua 9. Verse 23. Now therefore ye are cursed, and there shall none of you be freed from being bondmen, and hewers of wood and drawers of water for the house of my God. Hewers of wood and drawers of water are bondmen. So when we go back, wait a minute, Deuteronomy 29. Deuteronomy 29. Oh, y'all missing this. So we got to look at this. This is, Christians got, like I said, it's a vision. They want you to see a vision. Look at this. Your little ones, your wives, and thy stranger that is within thy camp. Stranger now. Now that stranger could be either your own brother or the other nations. Why? Because it says, from the hewer of thy wood unto the drawer of thy water, which is your bondmen. So God acknowledges that Israel will have bondmen and bondwomen, because that is what the hewer of the wood and the drawer of the water is. Let's get that understood right now, Christians. Bondmen. You don't want they don't want this part. But let's read on down. That thou shouldest enter into a covenant with the Lord thy God, not the bondman's God, your God, and unto his oath, which the Lord thy God maketh with thee this day, that he may establish thee today for a people unto himself. Look at all this, a people. Is this talking about the bondman? But watch this though. And that he may be unto thee a God. Now, when it says unto thee a God, is this the first time this is mentioned? No. The Christians act like this is the first time it was mentioned. No, it's mentioned a lot more times. And let's take a look at some of them, because I'm going to come back to this verse. The book of Genesis, I think it's appropriate to start here. The book of Genesis, chapter 17. This is with Abram, but I'm going to read on down. The book of Genesis 17 and 5. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be called Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee. Okay, look at this now. And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. But watch. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee, and their generations for an everlasting covenant. Now, look at this. It says, and I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee in their generations. So the covenant was between Abraham and to his seed in their generations. The covenant for an everlasting covenant to be a God unto thee and to thy seed after thee. Ha! Hold up now. The covenant that was made with Abraham was for God to be a God unto him and his seed. That was the covenant. This is where it's first mentioned. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee in their generations for an everlasting covenant to be a God unto thee and unto thy seed after thee. So the covenant that was made with Abraham was for God to be a God to him alone and his seed alone. I'm a God to you. Gentiles are not included in this covenant from the beginning. I'm doing it like this for a reason. Just trust me. We're going to go to both sides of the book. But I want you to, I'm going way back. To be a God unto thee and to thy seed after thee. I'm going to be a God unto you and your seed. I am not going to be the God of the other nations, just you. Here's where the covenant started. Here's when the covenant was mentioned. To be a God unto thee and to thy seed. So, let's go to Exodus chapter 6. Let's build up on this. Exodus 2. Exodus chapter 6, verse 6. We're getting to the point. Wherefore say unto the children of Israel, I am the Lord, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, and I will rid you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm and with great judgments. And I will take you to me for a people, and I will be to you a God. You a God. You. And I will take you to me for a people, and I will be to you a God, you, Israel. And you shall know that I am the Lord your God, which bringeth you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. Here's the next place it's mentioned. Just like he promised Abraham in that covenant. Here it is. He's letting them know that I'm going to take of you to be a people unto me. Not the other nations. They're not, no. And I will be to you a God. You a God. Oh man, we're reading. Leviticus, and this is one of my favorites here. This is one of my favorites. Leviticus chapter 20. Leviticus chapter 20. Leviticus chapter 20, verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I the Lord am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine. My people. They're mine. That word mine is strong. You're going to be mine. Mine. Not the other nations. You. Mine. I have severed you from other people that ye should be mine. My own people. These are my babies. Long before this was written, as Israel dwelled in Moab, it was already spoken. It was already spoken that you should be mine. Mine. Let's even go to Deuteronomy 7. Deuteronomy 7. Something's wrong here. It is, but hey. It says, Deuteronomy 7:7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people. Choose you. Choose you. And put his love upon you. Let's go to verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Above. 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 So you see the order here. Now here are Gentiles. Let's go to Ezra. I'm reading all these, brothers and sisters, for a reason. Again, Ezra 4. Again, Ezra 4, verse 2. I'm just going. But I wanted to show you now when the adversaries of the Gentiles of Judah and Benjamin heard that the children of the captivity built as a temple unto the Lord God of Israel. Then they came to Zerubbabel and to the chief of the fathers and said unto them, let us build with you, for we seek your God as ye do. And we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Hasaradon, king of Ashur, which has brought us up hither. Now, I was going to read on down, but I want to go back up. Then they came to Zerubbabel and to the chief of the fathers and said unto them, the adversaries in verse 1. The adversaries in verse 1 are the Gentiles. Gentiles. Let us build with you, for we seek your God. We seek your God. Now, wait a minute now. But before, I don't want you to forget the thought. Let's go back to Deuteronomy. I don't want you to forget the thought. Deuteronomy 29. These Christians, this is what the white man sits back and thinks up. That's what he thinks up. These little verses he could put in to test the knowledge of the Hebrews. Your little ones, your wives, and thy stranger that is in thy camp. The stranger could be either your brother from another place or the slave. That's why it says, from the hewer of thy wood unto the drawer of thy water. He works for you. He's under you. You're over him. He's not equal to you. The hewer of wood and drawer of water is not equal to the Israelite. That's why it says, from thy hewer of wood and thy drawer of water. Anybody that comes into your land is a hewer of wood and a drawer of water. That's the rule. You couldn't do this to your own brother. If he came into your land, you were to relieve him. Leviticus 25:35. But if he wasn't your brother, he was a bondman. So, your little ones, your wives, thy stranger that is within thy camp, from the hewer of thy wood unto the drawer of thy water, bondmen. But watch this. And that thou shouldest enter into a covenant with the Lord thy God, and into his oath, which the Lord thy God maketh with thee this day, that he may establish thee today for a people unto himself. People. It's all Israel unto himself, a people. And that he may be unto thee a God, unto you a God. Again, unto you. The same thing that was said in Exodus 6 and 7. The same thing that was said in the book of Genesis 17 and 7. To you a God and to your people. Same thing. To be unto thee a God, as he has said unto thee, and as he has sworn unto thy fathers. Genesis chapter 17, verse 7 is what he's talking about. Thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. But here it is. Neither with you only do I make this covenant and this oath. So what the Christians are saying is, look, he did not just make the covenant to be a God unto Israel. He made a covenant also with the others around them. So he made a covenant with the heathen. The same heathen now that's a hewer of wood and drawer of water, which is a bondman. They were not equal here. The hewer of the wood, the drawer of water. And see, when they use this, I laugh because I'm like, man, they're trying to get themselves into this thing. Neither with you only do I make this covenant and this oath. So now God is going to make a covenant and an oath with Gentiles. The same Gentiles that were bondmen to them. God's making a covenant to Gentile bondmen. We're going to see if that's true. But watch. But with him that standeth here with us this day before the Lord our God. See, they're still in possessive form. Our. And also with him that is not here with us this day. Someone that may be afar off. There were other Israelites that would be born abroad far from them. That's why we showed you homeborn and one born abroad. Leviticus 18:9. There were Israelites scattered at this time. That's why he says, and also with him that is not here with us this day, because he may be abroad. These Christians, but remember what we told you. Whenever someone tries to make a verse say what they wanted to say, if it's the truth, they will have witness to the verse. Because if God made a covenant to be the God of the Gentiles, and they look at this. The book of Romans. Because see, I think this is why they go to that. Because we say he's only the God of Israel, but they go, here it is. Is he the God of the Jews only? Is he not also of the Gentiles? Yes. of the Gentiles also. Now he's going to tell you who those Gentiles are, though. He's going to tell you who the Gentiles are in verse 30. The Christians avoid this. Seeing it is one God which shall justify the circumcision by faith and the uncircumcision through faith. Meaning these Gentiles are the uncircumcision. It's not talking about another race. That's why, brothers and sisters, that's why when we go here to just showing you, the Hebrews call the Gentiles by the general name of Goyim, which signifies the nations that have not received the faith or the law of God, all who are not Jews and circumcised. So if you're not a Jew and you're not circumcised, are comprised under the word Gentile. They had it in books, folk. They had this in books. But what the Christian did, what they did, brothers and sisters, is they went to the first part, all who are not Jews, and they stopped it. That's where we're going to stop it at. All who are not Jews are Gentiles. Gentiles are non-Jews. That's where they got people hung. They're hung there. Hung. But you and I not. It says all who are not Jews and not circumcised. And circumcised. If you're not a Jew or not, the not applies to the Jews and circumcised. Don't just think the not just applies to the Jews. You have to read it. All who are not Jews and as well as not circumcised was called a Gentile. And this is what Paul is doing right here. Seeing it is one God which shall justify the circumcision by faith and the uncircumcision through faith. The uncircumcision was the Gentile. That's why we keep going back here. Notice it says heathen. Now the heathen are labeled as people, nation. Now when you see the heathen, it's people, nation. Gentiles. And Gentiles mean the heathen, people, nation. Both of them mean the same. But when it comes to uncircumcised, one who is not submitted to the Judean rite of circumcision, Gentiles, meaning they did not consider the uncircumcised limited. It was anybody that was not circumcised. They were a Gentile. Anybody. Anybody. So when we go through verses like these, in order to support the claim that he's the God of the Gentiles, this is where they go. They go to Deuteronomy 29. I think this is what that is. Deuteronomy 29. Deuteronomy 29. Boy, they're slick. If you don't know anything, this is what they try to get past people. Watch this. That he may establish thee today for a people unto himself. Is he talking about the drawer of water? Their servants? Is their servants, their bondmen included in this right here? That's what they're saying. That he may establish thee today for a people unto himself, and that he may be unto thee a God. You are God. And he has said unto thee, as he, pay attention, as he has said unto thee, as he has sworn unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. The covenant he made with Abram in Genesis 17:7 was to be a God unto Israel, not all nations. It was to him and his seed in their generations, unto them. Same thing in Exodus 6:7. Same thing in Deuteronomy 29:13, to be unto thee a God. Thee a God. Thee, you. But the Christians said, well, wait a minute, let's keep reading. Neither with you only do I make this covenant and this oath. Uh-oh, we got them now. It says, neither with you do I make it. Neither do you do I make this covenant and this oath. but with him that standeth here with us this day before the Lord our God. But how do we know that the stranger in Leviticus 25:30? Wait a minute. Remember, we're taking the reality. We're not going to make the chapters and verses say what it say. You, your little ones, your wives, and thy stranger that is within thy gate, from the hewer of thy wood unto the drawer of thy water. Is that stranger always going to apply to another nation? No, it's still a stranger. That's why when you look, we're showing you again the book of Exodus. The book of Exodus chapter 12. Verse 49. See, they put these things together. One law shall be to him that is homeborn, and unto the stranger that sojourneth among you. Leviticus 25, verse 35 says that stranger could be your brother. So we're not going to make this one way. We're not going to make this one way. But notice, homeborn, one law that is homeborn unto the stranger that sojourneth among you. But so, in Leviticus, homeborn, right? Homeborn, Leviticus 18. Let's get some more clarity on this homeborn. Don't just stop at one, get them all. Leviticus 18 and 9. Now here's the law. Thy nakedness of thy sister, the daughter of thy father, or the daughter of thy mother, whether she be born at home, homeborn, or born abroad, somewhere else. So there were Israelites that were born abroad, which means they were not born in the land. They were born in other places. Their nakedness thou shalt not uncover. See, they don't understand early on what's going on. Your brother or your sister could have been born abroad, not homeborn, but born abroad. Born abroad means somewhere else. Far off. Catch a clue, Christians. You got to read all the law, not the part you want. Whether she be born at home, which is homeborn, or born abroad, somewhere else far off, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover. That's why it says in Leviticus 25:35, once again, Leviticus 25:35, born abroad. Do you see this? Born abroad. Something far off. Leviticus 25. Verse 35. And if thy brother be waxen poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him, yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee. There was a law for the stranger that was your brother from far, homeborn, born abroad. They act like all Israelites were compact in one place and born in one. No, they were scattered at this time. Whether it be in other lands, other tribes, and they haven't. See, this is what I'm saying, brothers and sisters. You got to think from the time of Genesis to Deuteronomy, they still never received the land. So all of this law is preparing them in the land. So this is the preparation into the land. The preparation, all of this we're reading is the preparation to go into the land. God's giving them the law. If your brother be fallen in decay, though he be a stranger or a sojourner from another place, that he may live with thee. There was laws, but the same law did not apply to the heathen. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids. Now, I want to go up. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. It says, both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have. See, didn't we go to Joshua and see? God is letting them know you're going to have, when you go into the land, you're going to have bondmen. Everybody's not going to be equal under the law. Bondmen. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, you women slaves too. You're not getting away, no escape. Which thou shalt have shall be of the heathen. That's not you. That are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids. Buy them, slaves. Moreover, the children of strangers that do sojourn among you, of them, the strangers is the heathen in verse 44. So these strangers, moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, that come in your land at this time, of them you shall buy them because they're slaves, they're being sold. Market it. And of their families that are with you, which they shall beget in your land, and they shall be your possession. Possession. And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession. They shall be your bondmen forever. When they come into your land, they're your bondmen. Slaves, buy them. You're buying and selling them like cattle, like we were. Don't, brothers and sisters, we can see Christians, you guys, you want to do this and this and this and this. Hey, if you don't have passion for your forefathers, if you do not have passion for your forefathers, there's nothing we can do for you. I continue to tell you guys, man, this little boy on the left he could be no older than 3. Look at the bag on his back, him looking to the side in the hot heat with his little bitty hand on a piece of cotton. What was the limit? What was the limit? Look at the children in the middle. They're working right beside. See, this is unheard of now. The children are right beside the parents in the field. See, let's go back. And you shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession. They shall be your bondmen forever. But over your brethren, the children of Israel, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor. It was different for you. Right there is separation. Right there. You see that? You couldn't treat your own people like that, but you could treat another race like that. Not your own people, but another race. Haven't you seen this, brothers and sisters? Sound familiar? Just go up to the 20s. It just we can stay with with the slavery, but after slavery, segregation, the benefits Caucasians had and we didn't. It looks just like this, but nobody wants to talk about it. So they're telling you, let's go back to Deuteronomy 29. They're saying to you, I want to make sure they got this. Because if anybody that's a Christian sees this, notice what it says in verse 11. Don't leave this out. Your little ones, your wives, and thy stranger that is in thy camp, cometh from the hewer of thy wood unto the jar of thy water. Bondmen. Workers. That's not being equal under the law. Nowhere. That homeborn, that stranger, that's talking about Leviticus 18 and 9. Your own brother or sister could be a stranger afar off. Leviticus 25:35. Born abroad. Don't just, when they come with that home born, go to Leviticus 18:9. Born at home or born abroad. That's what that means. Because there were people born abroad. Everybody wasn't born in the same place like they would say. He's telling you the law. There's going to be other Israelites born afar off. The Christians don't understand prophecy or law at all. Nothing. Now, let's look at this. Back to verse 13. That he may establish thee today for a people unto himself. Steady telling us, he ain't talking about the draws of water. That he may be unto thee a God, as he has said unto thee, unto you, in Exodus 6:7, as he has sworn unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. Neither with you only do I make this covenant and this oath. So here it is, neither do you only. Neither do you only, but with him that standeth here with us this day before the Lord, our God. And also with him that is not here with us this day, somebody that was born afar off. So here's a covenant that the Christians claim was made with the Gentiles, that God is their God as well. So God made a covenant with them to be their God. Is that what you're seeing? No. And I'm going to see, because there's always prophecy. There's always prophecy. So I want to get the book of Isaiah. Watch this, Isaiah 35. And I want to pick it up. I'm going to read on down. Now, I'm not going to explain this parable. I'm going to explain it one day. But I'm just going to get to a spot here. And when I get to this spot, I really should have just started in that spot, but I just want to read on down. It says, the wilderness and the solitary place shall be glad for them. The them you're going to find out. And the desert shall rejoice, and the blossom as the rose. It shall blossom abundantly, and rejoice even with joy and singing. The glory of Lebanon shall be given unto it, the excellency of Carmel and of Sharon. They shall see the glory of the Lord and the excellency of our God. Strengthen ye the weak hands and confirm the feeble knees. Let's read on down. Here we go. Say to them that are of a fearful heart, be strong, fear not. Behold, your God will come with vengeance, even God with a recompense. He will come and save you. When it says the Lord, your God, will come with vengeance, who is the vengeance going to be on? Who is the vengeance going to be on? See, brothers and sisters, this is what we're talking about. The Lord your God will come with vengeance. Who is this vengeance going to be on? Let's get the book of Psalms 149. Who is God going to put this vengeance on? Psalms 149. Verse 6. Let the high praises of God be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. See, the vengeance is going on the heathen, the Gentiles. The vengeance is going on the Gentiles the vengeance of God is going on the Gentiles. Wait a minute. Wait. Isaiah, let's go back to Psalms, the book of Psalms, chapter 58. Psalms 58. Now, again, brothers and sisters, when we go to Psalms 9, I just want to point this out, Psalms 9, because we need to define this. You need to keep this defined. Always define what you're reading. Thou hast rebuked the heathen. Thou hast destroyed the wicked. The heathen are the wicked. The number one wicked of the earth are the heathen. That's why in Job 9:24 it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The wicked are the heathen. The wicked are the heathen. The Gentiles, the wicked are the Gentiles. Thou hast put out their name forever and ever, meaning their time is going to end. It's going to end. Why do you think all this is happening? All this confusion? Because they understand prophecy better than the average one. But we're here to wake you up, to let you know this is what they're saying. The Gentiles got their day coming. Vengeance is going to be upon them. But let's see, the wicked up. But watch this. Let's get the book of Psalms. '58. Verse 10. It says, the righteous shall rejoice when they seeth the vengeance. Look at this. The righteous shall rejoice. It didn't say they were going to be sad. It did not say they were going to be sad. They're going to, the righteous, the lawkeepers of Israel shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the Gentiles. Because that's who the wicked are, the Gentiles. The wicked are the Gentiles. Psalms 59:5 again. Thou therefore, O Lord God of hosts, the God of Israel, awake to visit all the heathen, the Gentiles. Be not merciful to any wicked transgressor. The wicked transgressor is the heathen. And again, our people that are uncircumcised among them, worshiping their gods, are also heathen. But the number one heathen is the other nations. They're the wicked. The wicked is the heathen. You see it. So when you go down again, the righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. The vengeance, he shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. Who's going to wash his feet in the blood of the wicked? Christ. So that a man shall say, verily, there is a reward for the righteous Israelites, for verily he is a God that judgeth the earth. Why? Because 1 Corinthians 6:2, Paul already says, do you know that the saints shall judge the earth? 1 Corinthians 6:2, he's telling you, a God that judges the earth. And notice the God is with a capital G, meaning he's going to become another meaning, something else. This man, the righteous, shall become this man. Those that keep the law shall become God. That's why Christ says they will not be as, watch this, for they shall, watch, this is what Luke, real quick. That's why Christ said this, Luke 22. No, let me go back. Luke 20:36. This is why Christ said this. Christ says, neither can they die anymore, for they are equal unto the angels, and are the children of God, being the children of the resurrection. When it says they shall be equal unto the angels, what are the angels? They're God. The angels are God-like as God is, not dying, all powerful. You could now. I'm going to say it like this. I'm going to take that back. There is a certain power that the angels share with the eternal God. It's not the same level, but it is a power that they share with him. Now, he's all powerful, but they share a immense amount of power with him. They're not able to die. They need nothing physical. They are eternal. The angels. Christ said we will be like them. You think I don't want that? But in order for us to be like them, somebody has to be destroyed. But our people say, oh, no, nobody should have to be destroyed. Everybody should get the gift of eternal life, and we should all still be together like today. That lets you know, brothers and sisters, that they have no faith and they can't see past this. They can't see past him. They can't see past Edom. This is why we continue to show you this. They cannot see past worshiping the white man. Whatever he wants, whatever he sees, what looks like now is what they think is going to look like in the kingdom. They have no, you can't, you have to read. They're not reading. So when we talk about the vengeance, let's get one more. Micah. Because you get all these people, brothers and sisters, talking about, I hear people come on and say, well, man, we're so concerned about teaching death to Esau and we don't pay, we need to just teach our people. Yeah, but if you're teaching the people, you're going to find out Esau's going to be destroyed anyway. If you're teaching them, these are the kind of people, brothers and sisters, that want things done quietly. No confrontation. Let's just do. It's not going to happen like that. Sooner or later, the government is going to attack this teaching. But they're going to get you. You're not going to get away. Either you're going to be in or you're going to be out. Either you're going to be afraid. Why do you think Christ said this? Matthew, because it makes no sense how people don't want confrontation, but the Lord God, or I should say the Lord and Savior, our God, Christ, he had confrontation all the time, even to the cross. But these people don't want none. They think we're going to have to do this up under a rock and just go and hide. No. Why do you think Christ said this? And fear not them which kill the body. Why? Let me show you why. What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light. What I tell you behind the scenes, speak in the light. And what ye hear in the ear, that preach ye upon housetops. And fear not them which can kill the body. So your preaching is going to get you. What are you talking about, man? Sooner or later, this preaching is going to cause problems. And Christ says, fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in the lake of fire. See, people want this without no confrontation. They want us to teach and don't think just don't worry about teaching about the pain that God is going to cause the people that sinned against him. Just teach our people the book. Well, if it's in the book, we're going to teach our people. We're not going to avoid chapter and verse so we won't offend somebody. No, we're going to read them all. People want to try to form out a pastor for them. That's mine. I like the way he teaches like I want him to. No, you teach. You teach the book. Get the book. Get the software I have. OBS Studios. There, you can log on to your own computer. Put it on. Get you a mic like I have. Read the book. The shadows isn't going to do nothing for you, brothers and sisters. It's not. Don't be the one in Matthew 25:15 down. The parables, the parable about the I can't never remember where the coin, where Christ gave him a coin, parable of the talent. Don't be like I haven't been over that parable in at least 3 to 4 years. I used to do that parable all the time. Don't be like the one that had the talent, hid it in a napkin, If you know about the Bible, you need to be reading it to the people. We're praying for laborers, but you got these people out here that's none. We don't want no confrontation now. We don't. Just teach the people. Don't worry about. We don't want to talk about everybody getting destroyed. Just teach the people. This is what it is, and Christ says it's going to cause them to kill the body. What I tell you to preach is going to cause confrontation, even death. So if I'm going to, let's go back to Michael. If I'm going back to Michael chapter 5, just getting straight to the point. Michael chapter 5, verse 13, thy graven images also will I cut off. He's talking about, watch, and thy standing image out of the midst of thee, and thou shalt no more worship the work of thine hands. And I will pluck up thy groves out of the midst of thee. So will I destroy thy cities, and I will execute vengeance and anger and fury upon the Gentiles, such as they have not heard. We have not even heard this. This is how bad it's going to be for the Gentiles. It has not been written. It has not been written how hard it's going to be. There's going to be judgments on the Gentiles that's written in Psalms 149 and 9, and there's going to be judgments on the Gentiles that are not written in this book. So we have yet to see what punishment the heathen are going to get. And don't think he's not going to let Israel do it. That's why it says in Ezekiel. That's why it says in Ezekiel, we know one person that is going to watch you. Ezekiel 25:14. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom. So that's one man we know that's going to get the vengeance. Edom. By the hand of my people Israel. And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury. Whatever the Lord's anger is and his fury is, the children of Israel, us, we're going to do to him like he did to us. It's going to come back on him. And they shall know my vengeance. My vengeance. This is my vengeance, saith the Lord God. So God is going to turn us loose on Edom. And we're going to commit his vengeance on Edom. And some of it we have not even heard of because it's not written. So there are judgments Edom is going to go through, which is the heathen, we have not read yet. Isn't that something? But he made a covenant with the nations. He made a covenant with other nations that he's going to destroy. Now, Isaiah 35. I'm going to go back and read verse 4 again. Isaiah 35. Verse 4. Say unto them that are of a fearful heart, be strong, fear not. Behold, your God, Israel, will come with vengeance, even God with a recompense. He will come and save you. So when he saves you, there's going to be recompense and vengeance. But people don't want to hear about that. Salvation and destruction, they don't want to hear about it. Somebody's got to be destroyed if somebody's being saved. This is what it is. So I'm looking at this verse and I'm saying your God will come with vengeance. Even the God with a recompense. He will come and save you. The you is Israel. So when he comes with his vengeance, it's to save Israel. The book of Isaiah 40. That's the book of Isaiah 40. In verse 9. O Zion that bringeth good tidings. What is good tidings? Oh, let's let Paul tell you. What is good tidings? What is good tidings? The book of Romans, chapter 10. Verse 15. And how shall they preach except they be sent, as it is written? How beautiful are the feet of him that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things. So the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings is glad news. So in this verse, Paul is letting us know that the gospel and glad tidings was the same. The glad tidings is the same as glad news. Tidings is news. So that's the good news. The good news. So the gospel is the good news. Glad tidings. You still glad tidings? Watch this. Glad tidings, good tidings is the same. The book of Isaiah. Let's take a look at these good tidings. This gospel here in the book of Isaiah 40 and 9. Isaiah 40 and 9. O Zion that bringeth good tidings. That's good news, folk. The gospel. Get thee up into the high mountain, O Jerusalem, that bringeth the gospel. Good tidings is good news. That's the gospel. Lift up thy voice with strength. Lift it up. Be not afraid, and say unto the cities of Judah, behold your God. Where? Look. Behold your God. Behold your God. Behold, the Lord will come with strong hand, and with his arm shall rule. Look at this. And his arm shall rule for him. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work is before him. His reward is with him for Zion. His reward that is coming with him is for Zion. That's why it says in Revelation chapter 22 and 12, it's the same thing. You just saw in Isaiah who the reward is for. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. That every man is in Israel. Watch, that's why it says this. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates of the city. Through the gates of the city, for without are dogs, Gentiles. We know who these dogs are. All you have to do is go to Mark 7, 25 through 27. Matthew 15, verses 22 to 26. We know the dogs of the other nations. The dogs of the other nations. For without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters. And whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. Not going to be in there. But we know dogs are. So again, I'm Isaiah 40. That reward. So you got to notice that when Christ says, I come quickly. Let me show you that verse again. When he says, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me. That reward, when he says my reward is with me, let's go back to Isaiah 40. This is what that's talking about. Isaiah 40. Verse 9. O Zion that bringeth good tidings. That's the gospel. Get thee up into the high mountain. Mountain. O Jerusalem that bringeth the gospel. Good tidings. Good news. Lift up thy voice with strength. Lift it up. Be not afraid, be not afraid. And say unto the cities of Judah, behold, your God, not the nation's God, your God. Behold, the Lord God will come with strong hand, and his arm will rule for him. Behold, his reward, the same reward is talking about in Revelation 22:12. His reward is with him, and his work is before him. His reward was for Zion. We're looking, that's why when we go to Romans 9, nobody else saw this. Nobody else saw this, brothers and sisters, but these so-calls. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants. The covenants only pertain to Israel. Why didn't it say the covenants? Why didn't it say the covenants pertaineth to all? Why didn't it say the covenants pertaineth to all? The adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of God and the promises. So the covenant and the promises pertaineth to Israel. Meaning God never made a covenant with anybody else. And see, that's what it says in Psalms. What confuses me is when we go to Psalms 149. 149. No, sorry about that. Psalms 147. This is amazing. Because it's about what they read. They want, oh, God made a covenant with the Gentiles. No, he did not. Psalms 147:19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation. And as far as his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. God never dealt with other nations according to his law. He dealt with Israel. Now, if Israel had a slave, a hewer of wood and a drawer of water, they will be slave to that Hebrew. Sure, they would have to keep the law as the Hebrew, their master, does. But the covenant was not with them. God, you can't have verses like these. He has not dealt so with any nation. He has not dealt so. He has not dealt with any nation when it's according to the law. Psalms 50. Verse 5. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. This was the verse that was used in that little debate that they had before he went back to Deuteronomy chapter 29, 13, 14, and 15. And the guy that he debated with was stuck. What he did not do was ask, because see, again, we're going to take you to another level. Let's go back. I'm going to give you an example because I want you to read a couple of prophecies with me. Back to Deuteronomy. I want you to read a couple of prophecies with me. Deuteronomy 29. And we've already proven it, brothers and sisters, in certain ways, but we're with it. We're going to stay with it. Neither with you only do I make this covenant and this oath. Now remember, he says, neither do I make this covenant or this oath with you, but with him that standeth here with us this day before the Lord our God. So if there was anybody standing, who would be the ones that's standing with them? Who would be the ones that is standing with them? The hewers of wood and drawers of water. They're bondmen. So the Christians are telling you and I that God made a covenant with the bondmen, the other nations, the Gentiles. See what's going on. I could just take it. I could take it to another level. I'm going to do it now. I'm going to take it to another level. Isaiah 14. Isaiah 4. Let's see. Does this change? Let's see, does this change? Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob. Why not the stranger? Why not the other nations? I thought he made a covenant with them to be their God. But for the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers, these strangers are not the other nations. We've proven it. We're going to make another video. And shall be joined with them. These are another group. Ones that didn't keep the law. And they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. Their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servant and handmaids. The servants and handmaids, these are your brethren. No one else, no other nation is coming into that land, brothers and sisters. No one can prove that they're coming in. We have 8 or 9 scriptures proving to you that only Israel, the redeemed, are going to be in that land. But when it says Israel is going to be in the land, you're going to be either in the kingdom or you're going to be servants and handmaids. These were the lawless Israelites that would not repent and keep the law. They're going to be servants and handmaids as well. You think a sinful Israelite is going to enjoy the kingdom? No, it's not. You don't see it. 1 Corinthians 6:9-10. A sinner will not get into the kingdom, but he will be a servant and a handmaid. He's going to still have to work it off as the other ones. That's why it says, and as well as they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. What does change? What changed? When the new kingdom cometh, when we are saved, when he has mercy on us, they're still going to be slaves. So what covenant did he make with the Gentiles? The Gentiles are going to be slaves when he has mercy on Israel. Still slaves. Still are going to be ruled over. It never changed from that time, even before the land, even before they got into the land when the law was made, until the time he has mercy on Israel. It's still the same. The heathen are going to be captive, which is bondmen. Same captive as it was in Leviticus 25, 44. And 45. It's not changing. The heathen will be in chains. Psalms 149, 7-9. To bind their kings with chains. It's going to happen, but they don't want to teach that. Oh, we're ashamed of that. I'm ashamed of that. I'm ashamed. We're not. It's going to happen. Let's look at another prophecy. This is a prophecy here. This was a prophecy here. Let's go to Ezekiel. Even before I go to Ezekiel, I want to go to Jeremiah. Jeremiah 31. Jeremiah 31. Jeremiah 31, verse 31. Look at this now. Now we're going to verse 31 and 33. It says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. So I'm going to make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. But watch this. No, let me go back up. Verse 32. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them out by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break. They broke this one. although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my law in their inward parts and write them in their hearts, and I will be their God. Again, their God. Even in the new covenant, their God. And they shall be my people. This new covenant says their, it doesn't say this covenant will be with the nations. It said their God. Their God. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man, his brother, saying, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for they shall all know me. At this time, we're going to all know him. From the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord. And I will forgive their iniquity, their sin, and I will remember their sin no more. The other nations, he's going to remember it. Revelation 18:4, come out of her, my people. Be not partakers of her sins. He's going to still measure the Gentile sins, but he's not going to remember Israel's. That's why I love it. That's why he says, and I will write them in their hearts, the laws, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. Again, their God. I thought he made a covenant to be God with all. It is not. See, that's why you need more proof, brothers and sisters, than one verse. The Christians try to turn a verse a certain way, and it's not that way. God is giving them a law that when they get in the land, they have to keep. And they would have bondmen, slaves. But because the slaves were among them, the covenant was with them too? No. How can the covenant be with you and the heroes of the draws of water? And then you think you can carry this past that. We can guarantee you, brothers and sisters, they have, when you that's why we don't just read verses to you and then say, see, that's what that means. No, we give you a lot of verses to show. You need more than one witness. If Deuteronomy 29:14-15, God was making a covenant with other nations to be their God, it would say it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. It's going to say it again and again and again, like we're proving. We don't see him being the God of the nations yet. It's still Israel. Even though Deuteronomy 29:13-15 was read, we have read all the way through, and he's still going to be their God, even in the new covenant. Not the God of the nations, their God alone. These Christians, man, we don't know what's wrong with them. You can't just put one verse and say that's what it means. No, you need witnesses, partner. That's why it says in Ezekiel. You ought to be able to see it in this one, Ezekiel, chapter 36. Same prophecy, nearly the same. Ezekiel 36, verse 24. For I will take you from among the Gentiles and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land. This is a prophecy. Then I will sprinkle clean water upon you because you were unclean, and you shall be clean when I put this water on you. From all your filthiness and from all your idols I will cleanse you. That's who's going to be cleansed. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. This is a new heart. That's what it's saying, a new heart. And I will put my spirit within you, the Holy Spirit, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your God. Your God. You keep seeing, even in prophecy, he's only going to be the God of Israel. If he made a covenant with the other nations to be their God, it was said over and over and over again. If he had given a covenant to another nation, it wouldn't have said this. This is plain and simple. You don't have the Bible. See, the Christians, they make the Bible contradict itself. That's what they make it, so they can bring up an argument. And the wicked along with them, believe in that wholeheartedly. But we can see easily, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation. He did not make, he did not deal with any other nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. Why is this here if he made a covenant? Any kind of covenant. With the Gentiles that they're trying to say is in Deuteronomy 29:13-15. If he made a covenant, why does it say he's not dealt so with any nation? Dealt so means he didn't deal with other nations according to his law. Why is that written there if that's the case? If that's the case, the Christians don't know a prophecy when they see it. Israel's not even in the land yet. And he's telling them in Deuteronomy 29. You can't read, and even as I would say in Mark, the Christians can have you look over all they want. They need you to look over. But watch this, Mark 12. I'm just going to get to the point. This, you can see this, Mark 12:29. And the Messiah answered him, the first of all the commandments is, hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Did you hear what Christ just called God? Our. He didn't say the God of the nation. See, the Christians, they would read over this, but we pause on it. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, meaning he's ours. God is our God, the God of Israel. Same thing in the New Testament. We can't. If he's going to make a covenant with every nation to be their God, like they're implying, then why doesn't it say it again and again and again and again and again? Why would I have the book of Romans chapter 3 and verse 29 and then go back to Deuteronomy 29:13-15? Is he the God of the Jews only? He is not also of the Gentiles. Come on now. Is he the God of the Jews only? Question mark. Is he not also of the Gentiles? Yes, of the Gentiles also. Take it down here. Seeing it is one God which shall justify the circumcision which was the Jew by faith, and the uncircumcision which was the Gentile through faith. Now it makes sense. The uncircumcision was the Gentile. The uncircumcised who? Israelites. He is not only the God of the circumcised Jews, he's also God of the uncircumcised Jews. Don't let us take you back. Again, the bottom paragraph, we're looking at the bottom paragraph of all this. This is about Antiochus, and some call him Antiochus, the fourth Epiphanes. He outlawed the Judean religion, this Caucasian, this Edomite, including circumcision. He stopped the Jews from being circumcised. He stopped the priesthood. Daniel chapter 8, verses 10 through 12. That's where you'll find it. The little horn. He stopped circumcision, making a lot of Jews uncircumcised. That's the mystery. That's what a lot of preachers want to block from your mind. Oh, no, that's not, no. But you continue to see it right here. Seeing it is one God which shall justify the circumcision, which is the Jew, by faith, and the uncircumcision through faith, which is the Gentile. So if the uncircumcision is the Gentile, that means that he's still the God of only Israel, whether they know they're Israel or they don't. The Gentiles are the uncircumcision. So he's still not the God of the other nations. They try to turn this around. Remember, they want you to think that Gentiles is people who are not Jews. They want to put that in your mind, but all you see in the Bible is uncircumcision. So when you see them try to go back from here to Deuteronomy, they forget, never forget, that if God is making, look at this, watch this, and remember, I want verse 11, your little ones, your wives, and thy stranger that is within thy camp, from the hewer of thy wood unto the jar of thy water, thy, that thou shouldest enter into a covenant with the Lord thy God, and into his oath which the Lord God maketh with thee this day, that he may establish thee today for a people unto himself, and that he may be unto thee a God, thee a God. He didn't say, but watch. As he has said unto thee, and as he has sworn unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. Look at this. Neither with you only do I make this covenant and this oath, but with him that standeth here. Look at this. I'm going to read this again. Neither with you only do I make this covenant and this oath. So see, neither with you. The you is Israel. But with him that standeth here with us this day before the Lord, our God. And also with him that is not here with us this day. So this, who would that be? If you're going to make this verse say that with him that standeth here and they're supposed to be your slaves, then see the hang up. Never forget the jar of water was your slave, your bondman. So what the Christians are saying is God made the only ones that would be standing there with them, thy jars of water, the stranger. Neither only do I make this covenant and this oath, but with him that standeth here with us this day before the Lord our God, and also with him that is not here with us this day. So this covenant is not with them, but who was of them that was standing there with them? So if God made a covenant with the Gentiles, they're supposed to be, because they try to use this to say, see, they were there too. They were there. But who was among Israel? Slaves, bondmen, jars of water. So if he made a covenant with them too, well, Hold on. Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob. He's not going to have mercy on those that were standing with Jacob, is he? And will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them. Strangers. Remember, Paul says that Israelites, the uncircumcision, were strangers from the covenants of promise. If they're strangers from the covenants of promise, that means they're not going to get the promise. That's why it says strangers shall be joined to them. And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. Servants, those that were strangers from the covenant of our people are going to be servants and handmaids. And as well as they shall take them captives. Now they're going to take them captives. The rest they're going to take captives. Whose captives they were. Who were they captive to? Edom. And they shall rule over their oppressors. So what changed? That Christians continue to go and say, oh, he made a covenant with the draw of water as well. No, that's the covenant he's made. You're going to still be slaves when he has mercy. That's the covenant you're in. You're going to still be a slave as a heathen when he comes back. It never changed. So what part of the covenant do you think you have with Israel? Get the point, brothers and sisters? That's why I took you the long route. Which one? This? So the covenant you got with Israel is that you're going to be a slave? Because that's what this is saying. That's what this is saying. These guys run. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, which are the Gentiles, every one of them shall go into captivity, become slaves. And they that spoil thee shall be spoiled, and all they that prey upon thee I will give for a prey to you. There's nothing promised to the Gentiles but slavery, because they were slaves before, the hewers and drawers of water before. That's the only thing that the Gentiles are promised. So if you want to call that the covenant that you received with Israel to continue to be slaves, okay. But don't think you're included in the covenant of salvation or anywhere near the covenant of the commandments. It was never made for you to be under, except which part you were meant for, and that's slavery. Like he's made the covenant to be their God when you never see it again. It's never again written anywhere. That's let you know that the Christians take verses and spend them. They take verses and spend them. Even in Abraham, in Genesis 17:7, he already said, I'm going to be a God to you and your seed. Exodus 6:7, God to you. Deuteronomy 7:6-7, God to you. Leviticus 26:20, God to you. Leviticus 11:45, God to you. Jeremiah 31:33, God to you. Isaiah 35:4, God to you. Ezekiel 36:28, God to you. If he was going to be a God to all, it should have said it simultaneously from the back to the front. Even it's quoted in the book of Hebrews. The book of Hebrews chapter 8. The book of Hebrews chapter 8. Verse 10. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days. Those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws in their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God. The same thing he said to Abraham. I will be unto them a God, You go back to the old, God made a covenant. Well, here's the new one, and it's going to be to Israel a God. You Gentiles still don't have a God. Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. I'm sorry about that. This is the God of the Gentiles here, the white Christ. And with that, brothers and sisters, all praises to the Most High. One love, peace, and hope. We're going to teach this book the way it's meant to be taught. The savor of life, the savor of death. It is what it is. All praises, brothers and sisters, and one love and peace to you.